Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream again. We are going to continue on with controller support today. I made a lot of good improvements to the controller support, specifically as it relates to selecting items in your boards. So I'll show you what that looks like. I mean, I posted in Discord about it, so you can check that out. But yeah, the goal for today is to just add some more quality of life to the controllers. I think what I want to do is kind of like remap all the buttons to some degree. Just make everything feel a little bit nicer. Add more out-of-the-box functionality to the controller instead of requiring you to move the cursor around to all kinds of spots on the screen. All that good stuff. But we will get into that in just a second. Before I do, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis Mortis is available for wishlisting. It's also available for playtesting if you're a Patreon member. So if you want to try it now, head on over to Patreon. You can subscribe at either tier. If you subscribe at the sponsor tier, not only will you get access to this playtest, but you'll also get a Steam key for the full game when it launches and your name in the credits. So that's a great way of supporting the development if you're interested. You do not need to pay to get access to the playtest or to the eventual demo either. The playtest is actually going live for everyone starting on Monday, so just a couple days here. And then of course there will be ultimately a demo at some point available on the Steam page where you'll be able to just download it and try it whenever you want. So that's an option though if you want to support the game, and then you can also check out my Udemy courses. All that stuff is linked below, and let's get right into it. But first, my glasses are super smudgy. Welcome, Sesh Humara. Good to see you. Welcome back. How are you doing? I hate when my glasses are smudgy. It's like the worst thing in the world. I would say that it's even worse than famine. I'm just kidding, by the way. Okay. So, good morning, Lukey. Do you have an actual cloth or are you using your shirt? I have an actual cloth, yeah. See. Big ol' microfiber cloth. Praise the Almighty, hello. Probably on par with famine, I'd agree. Hello, Emerson. Kudos. Yeah, I mean, my glasses were a little bit too expensive to do the old t-shirt method on them, so. Although, like, if you go, like, with all the scratch-resistant stuff and whatnot, you put all those add-ons onto your lenses, they actually last quite a while, even if you don't treat them very well, so that's good, at least. Anyway, let me plug in my controller. So yesterday, off-stream, I did finish up the speed selection stuff, but also the new cell-by-cell card selection when you're using controller. Now, one thing that's interesting is I noticed that the rumble stopped working yesterday. As far as I can tell, it's not a problem with my code, so let's see. Yeah, I'm just getting no rumble anymore into this thing. Did my controller break? So that might be something to investigate at some point, but so you can see that when I'm moving around now, I go cell by cell. So instead of trying to guess which card you want to go to, you can actually just hover like multiple cells within the same card. And that's nice because then you can select the precise cell that you want to, of the row or the column that you want to be in, so you could just go down, right? So if I want to select this beast claw, I don't have to guess anymore about what button to press to get there. I could just go over and then down, right? Diagonals is also supported if you're using the analog stick. So if I press diagonal, I can go down one and over one, right? So that works as well. But for D-pad, since there's only 4 directions supported, it becomes a lot easier. So now if I look at my unlocks here, if I just I'm holding the analog stick now, it repeats the movement over the cells in whatever direction my analog stick is held. And that's the same for the D-pad as well. So I could just hold it and go up. So hopefully that makes the item selection feel a little bit nicer. I may make that speed configurable by the player, that repeat speed, but for now I think it's fine. I think it's a 0.4 second delay after the first press, and then it repeats every 0.1 seconds, I think, after that, as long as it's pressed. So yeah, it's working pretty good. So that should hopefully be a lot nicer. What else? I redid the button art here last night just for fun. I think it looks better. So yeah, the rumble isn't working, and I don't know why that's the case, because I put breakpoints here and this is working. So like the breakpoint was being hit here, and I did make sure that I was using the correct device ID. Actually, there's one thing that I want to try. So remember, I don't know if a lot of you were at the stream where I discovered that my keyboard is recognized as a controller. So I'm going to unplug my keyboard and see if that makes a difference. Nope, still no rumble. Well then what the heck? I don't know why I'm not getting any rumble now. It was working. Try a different USB port. Unless my controller rumble is just broken. Oh, it was the USB port. Interesting. So I have a little USB hub here, but it's one of those switcher USB hubs where like it has four USB ports on it, but then it has a little button and you could switch between them. But for some reason, if I plug the controller to any of the ports, the input works, but I guess only that if I plug it into one of the active pair of ports, it rumbles. Is that true? I don't know. Let me try flipping this around again. This is probably not the most interesting thing because you can't see what I'm doing. Really? Okay, so it didn't work on that port. I don't know. I guess I will just keep it. I don't know, maybe this USB hub just allows like extra power to that one port or something. I don't know. Now the rumble isn't working on that port either. What the heck? Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is a hardware issue. I don't need to worry about this. Yeah, now the rumble is back. What in the world? Okay. Working on my game like everybody else. Lurked here before, but here to stay because I love these technical discussions. Awesome. Well, we'll see how much technical discussion we get into today, but so Ninja Link in the Discord shared a while ago, a couple days ago, like a controller layout scheme, and so I'm going to loosely look at this. So I already took Ninja Link's suggestion about the combat speed hotkey. Well, kind of. So the main modification that I'm making from, I mean, I guess I could pull it up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me see. Alchemortis feedback. Let me pull it up. Can I just like save this? Save image. Oops, downloads, save. Okay, hopefully there's nothing incriminating in the downloads here. Image, all right, so this was Ninja Link's suggested controller layout. I think we're gonna borrow a lot of this. The thing that is gonna change though is I'm dead set on making the D-pad still do UI navigation. So what we'll probably do is, well, what I've already done is increase and decrease combat speed. That is already implemented, but with the modifier key. So if I open up my inventory and then I press the modifier, which is right trigger, and then left and right, I could change the combat speed down there. Now I think there's some UX improvements here to do. I think it would be useful to like flash the text to say like speed 1, speed 2, or whatever. But we can worry about that later. So that is basically done. The sell item, I think I'm going to change that one as well. Start, pause, combat, cancel, close window, select, interact. So the menu button being the inventory, I suppose makes sense. Reset camera, that's a good one, like the right stick down reset camera. RT plus Y. I don't know about toggle tooltips. RT plus X is auto resolve combat. Okay, that makes sense. So we're probably going to borrow a lot of this, but I actually think what I want to do first, and this is something that I wanted to get started on last night, but I want to create a little screen that will ultimately morph into the controller and keyboard rebinding screen. But for now, the screen is just going to be informational about like what the keybinds exist. Because if I go through all this effort to change all these key bindings and then I don't show that to the player anywhere, that's going to be not good, right? So I just want to throw together a very basic screen, which means also that I'm probably going to have to change my button prompt scene here to allow supporting all the other types of controller buttons as well. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to, very much improve this. Yeah, okay. I'm making a blackjack game where you play as a dealer and trying to make a casino go bankrupt. That's my GMTK idea. The countdown is that you're trying to bring this score down. I have limited turns and actually instead of going to 21, it goes to 0. That's a very clever idea. Very nice. That is very cool. Hello, Anno the Dev. Hello, Bear Like Lion. Good to see you. Welcome. I was doing controller support all week. How's it Godot'ing? Oh, controller support is just absolutely awful. I like having a meta button in surfs up, select, plus binds gives me 2x binds. Right, yeah. So yeah, Bear Like Lion is the developer of Surfs Up, if anyone has played that or seen that on Steam. I thought it was pretty easy, minus some neighboring bugs I had to manually fix. Yeah, my focus system is a little bit... So I created like a custom focus system for this. I'm like bypassing Godot's normal like neighbor stuff. So I have my own... Because it's a little bit of a pain in the rear, right? Because like when this drawer is open, this is a different focus context than when the drawer is closed here. So I kind of built my own focus system, which is kind of built around the concept of focus boundaries. And so focus boundaries are basically reverse depth first search through the tree. And then whatever focus boundary happens to be lowest and deepest in the tree, any focusable control that is an ancestor of the boundary component's parent, or sorry, a descendant of the boundary component's parent is in the focusable set. And then that is run through my own like focus grabbing system, which, you know, is just basically like check the direction that the player pressed, look at all the focus candidates, find the one that's the best match based on like the distance and the angle, so on and so forth. So that has been a little bit difficult. But then the other thing is that works great for like UI elements that are kind of scattered randomly throughout the screen. But what it doesn't work well for is the board navigation, which is a grid. So there's actually new focus behavior that kind of gets injected into here, so that I could do cell by cell selection for the items. And that's very apparent when you go to like this screen here, right? So anyway, all that is to say that this has been not easy to implement, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Basically set the input map and done. Yeah, I didn't think that the built-in Godot like neighbor stuff was gonna work, but I don't know. Maybe I could have gotten it to work. Maybe I'm sure, but I don't know. Going one per cell, yeah. It is a lot of extra work, yeah. Instead of one item each. Had to buffer inputs for my game launcher. Oh, interesting. So yeah, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a little key map scene, and I'll just borrow like the structure here. So I'm gonna create a little key map scene. This will eventually contain functionality to rebind things, but I just want to make this. I want to make this. Why can't I think of the word? I guess just static for now. Scenes UI. Let's just create a new folder. What? Create a new folder. Keybinds. We'll just call this keybinds menu. Okay, keybinds menu. Okay, so we need a couple of things. We need the escapable component, and then we need what? Focus context boundary component. That should just work. Screen dimmer. Okay. And then margin container, panel container, margin container. I'm just going to copy this. Screen rect. What is this for? Oh, I don't know if I need that anymore. What is this here for? Oh yeah, I don't need that. I guess I left that over for when I was redoing that stuff. So I get rid of this. Okay, so then I've got the margin container. I'm just going to paste that in here, and I will change. These all can go away. This panel header. This is UI panel header keybinds. I've got to make that translation. Translation string. Keybinds. Group. Translation groups.ui, or do I have panel headers? No. Private const string UI panel header keybinds. Okay. Let's just build. And we'll build a translation so that we don't have to look at that long string anymore. The headers kept coming up for focus with the controller. So if it focuses a header, hit the input again and go to the next category. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I found that like with controller, there's like just a lot of little weird interactions that you need to resolve. Which is kind of the nice part about having like the custom system. It's a lot of extra upfront work, but it's all an opt-in system, right? So nothing is focusable unless it explicitly opts into that. And the other benefit too is that I'm using a bunch of custom UI components. Like basically almost everything that's clickable in my game extends this clickable control, which basically is just for handling mouse/controller input. And so it's really nice because obviously every clickable control, I want it to be clickable or focusable, so it can just register itself into the focus system. So basically any custom control that I want to be focusable, I just register into the focus system, and then everything else just gets ignored, right? So that is the nice part. It's like it's opt-in. You don't get anything by default. You have to explicitly state what you want to be part of the focus system. But hello, Snoutbill. Thank you for the IDR 10,000. That's very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. And thank you again for being a member. That's awesome. Always good to see you. Excited to see how Alkabordis feels with all these advanced controls. Uh-oh, ad break. Okay. I am but a humble indie dev. I need to make all the money possible. Okay. So we got a VBox container. I don't want this to be in the center. Let's see. Oh, we might spend the whole stream just doing this. I want to change, would it be appropriate to change the custom minimum size here? We'll just see how that goes. All right, so we're gonna add a label. I'm just gonna do this very, very basic to start. Okay, so button prompt. So this is the kind of thing where, yeah. Do I want to manually lay all this out? I don't know. But yeah, thank you for your interest in Alcamortis. We'll see. I mean, I don't think the goal is like it should just feel fine, right? It shouldn't like, I don't think the focus system that I built is going to give it any sort of like extra panache, but we'll see. Welcome back. Sorry for the ads. I have to, I'm just a starving artist. I need every little scrap I can get. Anyway. So, yeah, the thing is, I don't know if I want to lay these all out by hand, but I guess we'll just do it. Why is inspect, toggle tooltips, auto resolve combat. So we've got start. So I don't have a lot of this functionality. So I'm trying to think, what functionality do I have? I've got the menu, the open inventory. So why is currently my open inventory? Maybe that's not. Okay, let's just put the inventory button. And now I got to look at my controller map too. Oh, you know what the problem is with these button prompts? These respond to whatever the active device is, so I'm gonna need to add some kind of like force show for device. But anyway, open inventory tab, joypad button 3, right? So this one is open inventory. The text, oh, this is gonna need to be translated as well. Open inventory, I need to extend this. So let's do inventory. Private enum, force device, none, controller, keyboard. Export private, forced device, forced device. Actually, can I just make this, oops, I'll just call this device. Update display. Is controller is equal to force device. Is equal to this would be or force device is not equal to device.keyboard. Is that right? I don't know. I feel like I did that logic wrong, but that's okay. We'll see what breaks. Okay. So now we go to the keybinds menu. We're going to force device controller. All right, I actually don't even know if that's gonna work, but what else? Let's do inspect. Oh, this is gonna be click. I wonder if I should split these up. I might need to just do a whole rework of my input map here, but whatever. Let's just do click right. Force device. Controller. Let's just see what that looks like. Oh, very cool. Why didn't that update immediately? Oh, okay. Okay, let's change this to private bool show for controller. Go for controller. Is that going to make a difference? Okay, yeah, that works. So click right, this text should be inspect. So the other thing that I want to do is, so I've got like quick sell, for example. Yeah, so that's a thing that my button prompt, it doesn't support. Controller modifier, right trigger, Xbox RT. So I think I might need to do 2 of these together. So I don't know. I have no idea if this is the right pattern to go with, but you know, we just get something down and then we see what the deficiencies are, and then we take a different approach. This one is controller modifier. The text is plus, and then we'll add another button prompt. Instantiate button prompt. Quick sell. This is still click right. The text force device controller. Let's see what that does. RT plus X quick sell. All right. I think that's respectable. I don't really see any problems with that. Now, I think the nice thing to do would be to somehow programmatically define these things so I could just instantiate all of them. But it's also one of those things where once it's built, it won't really need to change that much. Let's change this separation. Why is that separation 8? That's interesting. Let's do 4. Actually, we could just turn that off. Use the theme default. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's respectable. I think eventually, you know, obviously I want to present this in a better way. But yeah, also have to consider, like, this menu would have to eventually support key rebinding. So we're just going to do them as like simple labels for now. RT plus X quick sell. All right, and then I don't know how deep I want to go with this. Maybe I'll try. So the one thing that I need to try is the D-pad buttons. So let's duplicate this. This one. It would also be nice to make these tool scripts so that they update in the editor as I'm changing the data. How difficult would that be? Is that gonna like be a nightmare? Maybe I just don't want to listen for this. If not engine.isEditor hint, we don't want to listen for that maybe. If we're in tool mode. But otherwise, it might be possible to just slap the tool annotation on that, or attribute. Why does every language got to call it something different, you know? Is it an attribute? Is it an annotation? Is it a decorator? How's everyone's Saturday going so far? Ooh, it didn't work. They're all invisible. What? Okay. Saturday, another headache game dev. Oh, sorry, Kelso. Sorry to hear that. Visible equals true. If selected event, input map action get events action name. Is it not able to get things from the input map? Wait, that doesn't make sense. Action name. So it's setting visible to false because the selected event is null. Action get events. Can I not do this? When used in the editor, this method will return events for the editor action. If you want to access your project's input binds from the editor, read the input settings from project settings. Are you serious? If you access your project's input binds from the editor, read the input settings from project settings. Really? So now I got to change how I read the inputs based on whether it's a tool script or not. Do I want to go through that? Input. I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, goodness. Methods. Firebelly enjoying some game dev so far? I am enjoying some game dev to some extent. I don't know why this is different. So now I got to figure out how to read the input events from... Oh, this is a nightmare. So I got to read the input events from the project settings. I just may not do this right now. I mean, let's just try. So far, let's just do project settings equals project settings dot get setting input slash action name. This is a dictionary. It's a dictionary with so I'm probably going to have to okay. Let me just see if this works. As Godot dictionary, key events. Obviously, this is not safe at all, but as Godot array. What? Dot select. As Godot object array. Can I do as Godot object array? Input event? Does that work? I have no idea if that's going to work. So I'm going to move this. Action events equals get event list. Private list input event. Get event list. If engine.isEditor hint. Probably want to make this safe as well, but action name. That doesn't work. Can't be applied to type of variant. Okay, well, I'll worry about making that safer later, but return project settings dot to list. Okay, and then this one we can just return that one. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work, but we will see. We will see. Build. How you handle scene in game using build-in or make custom function. So I made a custom function for that. So this main node is what gets loaded as my runnable scene. So, you know, whatever I have configured here, my main scene is just main.tscn here. This is just a scene that basically operates as my scene switcher. Now it's pretty easy because there's only like 4 different scenes in the game that I can go to. But the reason I'm doing my own scene switcher is because I need to pass context along into the different scenes. So for example, when I end a run, I want to go into the run overview scene, but the run overview scene needs a bunch of data about the run that we were just coming from. So when I go change to run overview, I can pass in this context object, which contains all this data here. And then it can change the scene to the run overview scene and then call initialize on the run overview with that context. So this is just a nice way of being able to transfer some data into the other scene without having to use some kind of like global state. Oh my goodness, it worked. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that that worked. I was certain that that was not gonna go well. But I probably need to break this up. So let's do var input setting is equal to this. Man, we're not really making that much progress on control on actual controller support here, but that's okay. So input setting. How do I check if a variant is... Does that not work? Do I need to do has setting? Okay. So let's just do this. Var setting string is equal to this. If not project settings dot has setting string, we'll just return an empty list. Okay. Otherwise, we can get the setting as Godot dictionary. So let's do this. Const string events key. If input dictionary dot contains key events key, we're going to return empty list. Okay, and then we can do input dictionary events key. I think I could just put this in here. Okay, so that should be a lot safer. So we'll first check if the setting exists. If it doesn't, we return an empty list. Then we grab that setting as a dictionary. If the dictionary does not contain an events key, we just return. I don't know if this can ever happen, honestly, but might as well just check it, right? And then return the array of input events at that spot. Okay. So this is going to help a lot. I think. I guess the only bad part is I'm going to have to... It doesn't update immediately, so if I change this, it's not going to update. So I'd have to close and reopen the scene for it to update, but that's okay. I don't want to go that fancy with it. I mean, I could just, basically put getter and setters on these things. Or what I could do, I could do a tool button maybe. So button prompt, we do a tool button up here. Update display. Call this update display. Call it from update display. Now the good news about this is that this actually doesn't contain... Wait, why is that breaking? Oh, whatever. So this update display is actually called normally, so I don't think I actually need to do any of those if tools or not. Yeah, I don't think so. So we'll just add a button to force the update, and then so I should be able to change the actions associated with each button then, and then I can just click the button to refresh it. So that's a little nice middle ground, I guess. So what was I doing? So we've got quick cell. Oh, right. I was going to do the speed down. I think this is just controller left. Okay, that works. We duplicate this one. Speed up. That text is not being fetched properly though. This would be controller right. Change speed up. So now I got to figure out why that text is not showing up. How do you handle change scene in your game? Well, I just went over that, but basically it's just a custom node that handles removing children from itself and then instantiating the new scene that I want to go to. It's pretty simple. I mean, the logic is basically you have your own scene switcher. In my case, it's the root of my game. And then all it does when I say, hey, I want to change scene, is it removes all of its children and then instantiates the scene that I want to go to and then adds that scene as a child. And then it can optionally invoke anything on that scene that I need it to invoke for like configuration and whatnot. Controller right. So project settings, input map, D-pad left. Mm-hmm. Hello, Clickertail. Welcome. Good to see you. So I need to add support for getting those D-pad left. Actually, I wonder if I can just do... If match.groups.count is less than 2, get abbreviated if show for controller. Oh, I didn't add any support in for keyboard yet. Okay. Let's just return text. Build. So that should at least show the D-pad and then left or right. Keybinds menu. Oh. No, I probably want to do... regex, generic, regex, new... Oops. At... Yeah, we just want to do... I guess just that. We just want to capture... Is that right? Private string get generic event text. Get generic event text. Okay. Generic regex dot match for or from event text. If match.groups.count is less than 2, return null. Return match.groups 1.value.split .first or default. So I'm just trying to get whatever value. So if there's no like Xbox specific string associated with the input event, what I'm doing instead is I'm basically just grabbing whatever's in the parentheses, which will include maybe a comma separated, list of things. So I grab whatever's in the parentheses, I split it on the comma, and then I just grab, and And actually, this should probably be .trim as well. So yeah, hopefully that works. There we go. So now it says D-pad right there. Now, why is that? I don't know why that's so scrunchy. But let's take a look. Oh, it's fine in the actual game. Interesting. So I'll probably add some like specific text handling for that, but that's okay. All right, so we've got a little input menu going on now. And so now we can actually move into adding some more keybind support here. We will change some things around though, and we'll see how it feels, but let me just commit that. So begin work on keybinds menu. Alrighty. Cool. All right, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we're going to actually start working on adding new keybinds now. I just wanted to get this set up because when I overhaul the controller support, or as I'm overhauling this, and then as I add more keybinds, we obviously need a way of showing the player like what all the possible keybinds are. And for now, it's just going to be, you know, I'm basically just going to add a button in the pause menu that just shows keybinds. So it'll be like, you know, maybe keybinds would be below settings here. And so when you click that, it would just open up this keybinds menu so you could look at it, basically. And actually, let's just add one more in here. Project settings. Where is that? Am I just missing something? Oh, controller cancel. Controller cancel. Okay, so this is controller cancel. This would be cancel/back. Actually, let's do back. Cancel. Okay, and then I can click update display. Perfect. All right. Cool. All right, I'll be back in just 3 minutes and we will continue on. Alrighty, I'm back. Hello, Ninja Link. Good to see you. How are you doing? Snail cat, ghoul fencer, snail cat. I need to add more emojis, I guess, huh? Add a little succubus emoji, maybe. We're taking a look at your suggested input mapping, Ninja Link, and with the exception of the D-pad also being for movement, I think I'm going to use a lot of this. So I think the next thing that I want to do is change the open inventory button to the menu button there. Oops, I didn't mean to close that, but that's okay. So let's see. Do I have, so yeah, open inventory is here. So I go to my input map. Why is this so difficult? Inventory, here we go. So we're gonna change this one to Xbox back. That's what it's called on Xbox? Ew. So there's our open inventory. So then I click update display. That's not correct. Oops. Oh no. Xbox. Okay, I guess my regular expression is wrong. So we're back at this. A to Z plus. Okay, so actually what I need to do is A to Z plus like that. So capital A to lowercase c. Let's build. See what that does. Hello, I'm Laxon. Good to see you. Good morning to you as well. I'm determined to get this controller support feeling very good. Hopefully by Monday when the public playtest goes live. It's very, very, very important to get the controller support feeling good. So yeah, we're gonna see. So back is open inventory now. Let me just make sure that that works. Glad my input image was useful. I'm doing well. It's pool party day. Oh, pool parties, yes. A classic Midwest tradition in, I don't know, specifically July. I don't know what it is about July. I felt like all the pool parties were always in July. And then by like August, everyone's sick of summer. Okay, so in menu to open, the inventory works really well. So we want to make Y inspect. So this is the thing that I'm not so sure about. Let's see. Image. So inspect, start, pause, combat, cancel, close, select, interact. So Y for inspect. I think that's okay. I think I can just go in here. This is Y. Okay. This is inspect, update display. That becomes Y. This one also needs to update display. RT plus Y is quick sell. I think that makes sense. I mean, maybe you don't agree, but if Y is the inspect button, then I think it kind of makes sense for the modifier RT plus Y to be quick sell. Oh, but that didn't work. Oh, really? Xbox A. Wait a minute. Xbox. Controller click alternate. Edit this one. Why do I have controller click alternate as a separate? That doesn't make any sense to me. Let me take a look. Game constants. I had it as a toggle tooltip because I found tooltips to be a little annoying with controller. I think I will probably add a toggle tooltip, but the problem is, like, I'm worried that somebody is going to accidentally toggle tooltips off and then they're not going to number one, they're not going to realize that the tooltips are off. And number two, they're not going to know how to re-enable it. Now, I guess what I could do is I could show like a message like tooltips are off or whatever. But to me, like that feels like a quality of life thing. Because you can, I don't know if you know this, but you can hold left trigger to, like if you hold the left trigger, the tooltips will go away. It's a little bit annoying because you have to hold it. But I think at least as an initial UX, that at least is going to make sure that players don't like lock the tooltips as hidden and then don't know how to get them back, right? So I don't know if like toggle tooltips is a like toggling them, like where you have to hit a button to turn them off and then hit a button to turn them on. I don't know if that's going to be a priority in terms of getting the controller support in a good state by Monday. But yeah, that's definitely something that I'm going to probably want to do. And also, but that, I guess my point is that's going to have additional UX so that players are informed that, hey, tooltips are actively off. You need to press this combination of buttons to bring them back, right? I had no idea. That's fine then. Okay. And I think the other reason, so I'm creating this keybinds menu. This will ultimately morph into like a keybind remap menu. But for now, like this will just be like a little glossary of the key bindings. So I'm hoping that that helps as well. So you could see everything that's supported. Oops. But anyway, let's see if the quick sell works. Oh, I was going to check. Why do I have controller click alternate? I don't really know why this is here. Is modifier action pressed? Action click right. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of that controller click alternate for now. Delete. Then game constants, get rid of this. Okay. Back is inventory. Right trigger, Y is to sell, Y is to inspect, B is to back. That sounds good to me. We also have the speed controls implemented. Alrighty. Cancel, close window, select, interact. So basically the only thing left to do is the start, pause, combat. Reset camera, auto resolve combat. Yeah, so let's focus on the combat things then. Actually, almost everything's implemented actually. I just need to do the reset camera, the start, pause, combat, and auto resolve combat. And then that's basically it. But first, let me do this. Hide tooltips. This is controller modifier alternate. Hold, hide tooltips, controller modifier alternate. Okay, that should work just fine. I might want to do specific images for the D-pad buttons. The thing is, like, so Steam says that you have to have all the right glyphs for whatever input device you're using, and I'm hoping that just doing something extremely generic, like not coloring these in accordance with any particular, any particular controller would help. But I don't know, we'll see. Like, I didn't do that for Gunforge. Like, Gunforge did Steam Deck verified, and first of all, I didn't even apply for Steam Deck verification. They just gave it to me. So that's cool. And then, but I didn't do anything special. I just basically just used the Xbox keybinds for Gunforged. And it was fine. So unless they've changed their rules about it. Alrighty. So let's do the start-stop combat then. Does this search? No. Okay, let's add a new action, controller, combat. Add this, X. Okay. So now we got to go back to our combat widget, our lovely combat widget. So combat disc clickable control. Announcement, UI combat start error, add clickable. One combat disc clicked. Start combat pressed. So the problem is I don't really have any state associated with this combat disc clickable control. Like the state is kind of implicit, right? So like you obviously can't click the combat disc clickable control if it's not clickable, either because it's got its input disabled or because it's just not visible. But with controller, it's a little bit different because if I provide the input to start combat, I actually need to know if the combat widget is in a combat startable state. So this is going to require a little bit of work to get to go. But anyway, sorry, I just need to step away for just another second. Sorry about that. So BRB. All right, I'm back. So we need to figure out when this thing is actually clickable. Combat clickable control. Change to speed disk. So is speed disk active? So I think what I can do can start combat is speed disk active. And not is in combat. So then input here, else if controller input dot is modifier action pressed EVT, I need to add public static read only string name action controller combat. Okay. Action controller combat. We want to do what? On combat disk clicked. Let's just do private void. Start combat. And I'm just going to add some extra stuff in here. If is in combat, return, or is speed disk active, start combat. Start combat, get viewport dot set input as handled. Oh wait, no, this is just, oh, I did this wrong. This is EBT is action pressed. The modifier action. So I'll probably want to do something like private bool. Is in combat. Is auto resolve hidden. Is in combat and not is auto resolve hidden. So then in here we'll basically just copy this. If controller input is modifier action pressed, EBT, game constants, controller combat, and can auto resolve. Let's see, auto resolve clickable control, where is that? On auto resolve clicked. Private void. Actually, I'm going to change this. I'm going to put this here. On auto resolve clicked. Auto resolve here. If not is in combat or is auto resolve hidden. Return. Just put some guards in there. Actually, if can auto resolve. If not can auto resolve. If not can start combat. Oh, this needs to be or. Not is speed disc active or is in combat. Is in combat. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, that's wrong. No, I was right. I'm getting confused. All right, if not, can start combat. If not, can auto-resolve. If that all works, so then over here, we're just going to call auto-resolve here. Okay. Now, the reason I'm doing the extra check here, even though there's a built-in to this, is because I don't want to swallow the input if the input is not going to be handled validly. So let's see what happens. Wanted to ask if this is on your last stream, what will you price the game at? I can't reveal the pricing for a couple reasons. One, we haven't settled on the pricing for the game yet. And two, that is up to my publisher to determine. I mean, I have the final say on everything, including like what the store page looks like and what the price is, but I trust the publisher to be able to price it in a reasonable way. So I guess what I could say is like, you should expect it to be around the same price as similar games in this genre. So I don't think you're going to be shocked by the price. And as far as I'm aware, don't hold me to this, but as far as I'm aware, we're also going to do regional pricing. So yeah, so no worries there. No worries there. Yeah. I think you guys will be happy with it. I'm not gonna, you know, it's not gonna be a $60 game, right? So it's gonna be good. All right, so we go to combat. So let's see, can I actually do this? So if I press X to start combat, it doesn't work. Why is X to start combat not working? Let's do that. Oh, this is going to be a problem. Let's put that in there. Attach to process. Godot. Okay, so I go in here. Really? Do I have like a set process? Oh, update process input. No, that's right. Can start combat. Not is speed disc active and not is in combat. Is there a reason why that's not working? Action controller combat. Xbox X. Interesting. AAA $80 game easy. $80 games. Gotta love it. So why is this? I wonder why this is not working. Is there something swallowing up my input? The hard part is like, I guess we'll just try this. It's not even processing the input. Oh, there's a gate up here. Oh. If is speed disc active and can player change game speed, we'll put this here. Let's just do a return out of here, return out of there. I didn't realize that there was a gate up there. So previously it was only for handling the game speed input, but now I need to handle multiple different inputs. Now, wait a minute. I need to make it so that way I need to be able to pause combat, but we'll add that in a second. Okay, so menu. Okay, we'll go in here. Okay, that started the combat. Very cool. And then auto resolve. I'm just mashing the button trying to break it. Sell that. Okay, and then we go here. Resume. Okay. I think we're good. So I go here. Start combat. So I want to make it pause the combat when I press X again. So let's do another block here. So let's do private bool can pause combat. This is actually probably going to follow the same logic. If is speed disk active and player can change game speed. Modify game speed. Okay, so okay. Controller input dot is modifier action pressed. EBT game. No, not is modifier action pressed. What am I doing? EBT dot is action pressed. Game constants dot controller combat. What I can do is I can say, I'll just do something like toggle combat pause or something. Get viewport dot set input as handled, return. All right, so private void toggle pause. If game speed manager dot is player paused, we're going to do game speed manager is player paused. Game speed manager is player paused, and not game speed manager. Well, let's see. Can change speed. Yeah, okay. All right. So this toggle pause, well, I'm just going to do, this is going to be an extra check, but we'll just say if not can change speed, we'll just return. Okay. If is player pause, we're going to do game speed manager dot resume for player true. Else game speed manager dot pause for player true. Okay, so toggle pause. Wait a minute. What the heck? Here we go. Toggle combat pause. Get rid of that. Okay. Hello, V. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Who's doing something for the GMTK Jam? Not me. Unfortunately. I have to give the people Alchemortis. Okay. Now I gotta make sure I can't auto-resolve. Oh. It still works with the modifier. If not controller dot input dot is modifier action is modifier button pressed. Input handling is just got to be very careful about it. Okay, auto resolve works. I can toggle the pause still, which is fine. Like, I don't care about that necessarily. But I go here. We'll start the combat with X. I should be able to change the speed with the directional pad buttons. And then if I press X, it pauses. If I press X again, it goes back to the previous speed that I had. I can also increment the speed however I want from a pause. So I could go there, pause it, resume, or I could go the other way and just go smaller. I think this is working. I can't auto-resolve when I'm paused, which is good. If I open up the inspector and then I try to press auto-resolve or try to press unpause, it doesn't work. So yeah, I don't want, like, if there's a system pause. So a system pause is basically anything that has requested a combat pause that is controlled by like a modal popping up on the screen. So like this inspector pauses the combat. And so while the system has the combat paused, I shouldn't be able to change any of the speed settings because it's assumed that a system pause is sort of like grabbing focus. And actually, you know what would be a more elegant way of doing that now that I think about it is if I had some kind of signal that tells me when it's system paused, and then I just set this to not process input. That would actually simplify quite a few things, but because then this just becomes not is playing out. I wonder if I should do that. That would actually greatly simplify everything. Well, it's not necessarily a simplification. What it is it's like a guarantee that the input will not be processed at all while this system is paused. Game speed changed. Although maybe it's just because I have this update process input. So I would need to store another flag anyway, so I don't really know if it matters that much. Let me think. Actually, I could just do update process input, update process input. Here is controller active and game speed manager dot is system paused is not equal to true. And then I should be able to get rid of this can player change game. Actually, this just becomes that. So I don't know. I guess it's not really that much of a difference. I guess it just makes me feel better to say we're going to stop processing all input if there's a system pause, because that basically guarantees that like no inputs are going to change anything, rather than trying to rely on like these combination of flags and whatnot. Just simply saying don't process the input if we have a system pause is a lot more rock solid of a way to handle that. So let me just make sure that that actually works, and then we should be golden, Pony Boy. Oh, the new key bindings are tripping me up. I'm so used to the other ones, but I think this is better. So let's see. So I should be able to, if I open up Y and I press X, it shouldn't do anything. If I can start combat with the modifier key pressed. Wait, are these the two? These are two of the same. Those two blocks were exactly the same. What am I even doing? Do you plan on vacation for after you launch the game? Maybe some traveling with the missus? Well, we are going to go to China at some point. But I am not really much of a travel person generally. A vacation for me would be like, I don't know, like a week-long break after the game launches, but I am very eager to start prototyping my next game idea as well. So that's the problem. It's like, in theory, it would be nice to take a vacation, but at the same time, like, if I just do nothing for a week straight, I'll probably not feel that great. So I probably will, my vacation will be probably just working on a different project. Okay, press that, open this up, open up the combat summary. All that works just fine. I can change the speed. I can resume, pause, resume. Resume, auto resolve. Okay, I think that's working pretty good. Add controller support for pausing, resuming combat. So now we want the combat things. So let's think about reworking some of this stuff. So let's do open inventory first, back cancel, inspect, quick sell. We probably want to put the combat stuff right below this one. Start. Pause. All right, let's do start, pause, combat. Controller combat. Start, pause, combat. Update display. Okay, then we duplicate this one. This would be auto resolve. So this one is controller combat. All right, let's see. So I probably want to break this up a little bit. I probably want to have like a section for like inventory or whatever. Is that all the key bindings? Wait, did I get everything? Oh, I want to do the map one, the recenter map. Reset camera. Button modifier, move board. Oh, do I not have left bumper, right bumper for move board? Oh, I also don't have the A key. What? Oh, I got to do that for sure. How did I miss that one? Okay, this would be interact. Let's do grab. Oh, let's do interact / grab. Click left. Open inventory. So maybe we do this one. So this would be, this button prompt is actually Controller context left. Okay, and then this would be context left. Oops. Context right. So this is controller context right. Let's do move board / move tab. Interact grab, open inventory. Well, it's a little messy, but hey, it works. I wish I had time also to do game jams. I'm trying to make a dev career like Mr. Spicy Tummy. It's a dilemma to stop and feel like you're setting yourself back, but it's good to avoid burnout. Yeah. Decided to speed up the quality speed up cursor button was a good idea. Oh, yeah. Hello, Gimati. Welcome. I'm going to rename this. So we need, okay, let me write this down. That's done. Add recenter map button. What else? Recenter map button. Oh. Add keybinds menu to pause menu. I mean, I might as well change this. Why did it say I said hot? I don't know. The on-screen chat. I mean, that's all that's in your message is just hot. Or maybe I don't know. YouTube is being weird too. Like when I hover your, it says hot, but when I hover over your message, it says suh. What? This is what I see in YouTube. Is it like trying to auto-translate your message for some reason? Glitch in the matrix. Yeah, I have no idea. That is weird. What the fudge? Oh. There we go. Oh, automatic translation. Interesting. Do you know where to change that setting? I guess I'll figure that out later. All right, so we want a map recenter button. I mean, The thing is, the back button already recenters the map, so I might just... I can make that a different action, maybe. The key rebinding is going to be a huge pain in the rear, I think. I'm going to need to think about my actions a little bit better. Well, I guess I don't really need to think about that now. Let's just go ahead and... Let's just add this button to the pause menu. Do you guys like these new buttons, by the way? It's a pain in the butt to turn it off. Okay, so this would be controls. B felt unintuitive to me for camera reset, so I used what every other game I played uses. Okay, well, we can add that. I do like the new buttons. Good. Oh, do I have to add... I have to make the controls menu accessible from the main menu as well. Part of me wonders if I should just add it to the options menu. Well, I'll worry about that when it comes time to add key rebinding. Keybinds menu. Node private custom button controls button. Controls button dot pressed on controls pressed. On controls pressed. Add child keybind scene dot instantiates. Oh, I'm gonna need to listen. Keybinds scene is equal to keybind scene instantiate Keybinds menu. Keybind scene. I'll need to do all kinds of stuff, but we want to do disable buttons. Signal public delegate void closed. Node. What the heck? Escapable component. Private void ready. No, I did that completely wrong. Public override void ready. Escapable component dot escaped plus equals on escaped. Private void on escaped. Emit signal closed. Event handler. Keybind scene dot closed plus equals on keybinds. Actually, do I need to do that? I can just do this. Enable buttons. How am I doing it with the unlock menu here? Closed event handler. Okay. I guess what I'm going to want to do also is private. Well, maybe not. Actually, this is fine. All right, let's just see if this works. I'm going to have to add animations to it and everything. Okay, so I also need to do screen dimmer. So screen dimmer, dim, screen dimmer dot clicked plus equals on screen dimmer clicked. Okay, let's see how that goes. The art looks tough AF. Thank you, Pew P. Thank you. Lot of effort went into it. What? I can't click on this. Did I not do that correctly? If evt.isAction pressed, action click left, accept event, emit signal clicked. Did I do something wrong? That needs to be ignore. Yes. The classic ignore issue. Okay, so obviously those need animations, but we can bring up the controls now. So let me write that down. Add play in out animations to keybinds menu. This one is set to pass. Can I not dismiss the pause menu by clicking outside of it? I can't. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not even connecting to the screen dimmer in here. Okay, that makes sense. I think with the pause menu specifically, I think it should require more explicit input to dismiss. Like you should have to click resume or escape, but with like the settings menu, we can click, oh, we can't even click to dismiss that one outside. Interesting. That one doesn't work either. So wait, I guess this is just the odd one out. Well, whatever. That's probably okay. I do like those new buttons a lot, actually. Especially in the unlock screen. Like, it's much clearer now which category you have selected. Yeah, it just looks nicer generally. Game is looking freaking amazing. Thank you, Andrew Gonzalez. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Still a lot of work to do, but we're getting there. But yeah, my main focus this weekend is just going to be getting this controller support really tight, hopefully. So I do want to add a recenter map button. Yeah, and then there's just some like UX things around like focus. So one of the main things that I want to fix is like when you're doing alchemy with a controller, what ends up happening is you lose focus. So if I do that and I do that, oh, there was a bug there. Can I reproduce that? Oh. Oops, I didn't mean to sell you. That's all right. Interesting. Okay, that's a bug. So let me see. After dropping item in alchemy, controller or cursor does not properly snap to a cell. Okay, that's a little bit weird. But anyway, when I do alchemy, one of the weird things is like I lose focus, obviously, so then it jumps to something else on the screen. But I think what I'd rather do is just hide the cursor until either the first item in alchemy is available to see, or until the player gives some controller input, right? So after I click alchemy, basically just hide the cursor, don't focus anything, and then only refocus in two instances. One, refocus when the player provides some controller input so they can do stuff while alchemy is going, or refocus on the alchemy result when the alchemy is finished. And there's a bunch of situations like that I want to handle, where like clicking something, like there is really nice because you click on it and the focus goes away and then something in here grabs focus again. But anyway. I guess I never did alchemy while using a controller. Yeah, so I want to fix that up, and that should be relatively simple to do. It may just even be a matter of changing my logic. Because right now I think the logic is when the actively focused item becomes unfocusable, what it does is it just tries to find the next focusable element. But I think what I can do is just not do that unless perhaps there's a focus priority component. So a focus priority component is a little node that I can use that tells the game, hey, if there's no current focus, grab focus on this item. So that's particularly useful for like the confirmation dialogues, right? So I open up the confirmation dialogue and I want a default option to be selected, right? So that's a case where I want the focus to be grabbed on something. But for a lot of interactions, I may just be okay with saying there is no focusable element, right? Oh, what's going on there? I guess I can't see the cursor. That's all right. By the way, you can also hold the modifier key and scroll to scroll faster. But anyway, so there's a lot of little UX and quality of life things that I can do here, for sure. But the goal is to get all this feeling really good for Monday's release. And hopefully the controller support feels really good. But we're getting there, slowly but surely. The other thing I did yesterday too, I just want to show you guys this. Remember a couple of streams ago I had trouble redrawing the leech? Well, I redrew the leech. They are now leeches, plural. And it's just a writhing mass of slimy things. So that ended up being a lot easier to do. So yeah, anyway. Almost makes me wonder if X should be a quick alchemy button while the inventory menu is open. Yeah, we could do something like that. I think what I'll do is I'll just get like this minimum like controller work done, and hopefully it feels really good. Hopefully it feels a lot better, and then we can talk about like quality of life after that. And I'll probably do the same thing. Like I'm probably just going to keep pushing updates to the playtest branch. So I'll try to focus on like quality of life stuff while the playtest is running. So I can just keep, because like this is the last playtest that I'm going to do. So this is like the last opportunity to really collect a lot of feedback on this stuff before the demo releases. So anyway. All right. Anyway, my wife and I are going somewhere in just about 20 minutes, so I got to go eat lunch and get ready for that. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. If you want to support the game, please wishlist on Steam. I would appreciate that. You can also join the playtest that's running right now for Patreon members only. So you can head on over to the Patreon, subscribe to either tier if you want to get access to the playtest right now. But the playtest is going live publicly for everyone for free on Monday. So if you just want to play the game and you're not really interested in supporting financially at this moment, that's totally fine. You'll get to play the same version that the Patreon members have been playing for the past 5 days or so. And yeah, it's a last playtest, so I'm looking forward to getting all your feedback on how you think the game is going, how you think it's feeling, and then it's just a matter of marching towards release. So yeah, we're almost there. The game is getting there. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you. I hope you all have a great one as well, and I'll talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.